Hello, my loves. It's good to see you. Lately, it's a little bit, it's not really hard to find the space and time to record messages for you, but I am recognizing that I still have to find my way into what I want this channel to be, and like how to co-create the space with you, and how to go about those videos, those messages. And yeah, I'm always realizing that I'm kind of finding it challenging to start those videos, you know. I mean, they're right now I can feel like my marketing brain kicking in from my time when I was like a content creator, working as a content creator for clients actually. And you know, there are like all those different things that you can do to start a video. And right now my brain is like, why are you talking about this? But I'm just going along for the ride. Let's see where this is taking us. Yeah, you know, like there are all those things, all those guidelines, those this is how you do it kind of things, and it all just doesn't really feel right. But at the same time, you know, I just want to start talking to you, and I guess this is what I'm doing right now. But I always have this like a topic in my mind, something that is on my mind that I want to talk about and that I feel like is valuable. But then it just feels so abrupt to start, to just jump right into the topic. And I know that this is like a usual thing to do in, especially like in like the YouTube world, and yeah, when it comes to social media in general. And this is due to our world. Like, we don't want to waste anybody's time. Just don't waste my time. Just get straight to the point. Just jump in there and say what you have to say so that I can tell if this video is for me or not. And I mean, there is some value in that, of course, especially if you're looking for very specific information. But that is just not what my videos and my content is about, right? That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm more about just like following along and just see where things take me, see where life takes me. And I can still tell that my brain is trying to figure out how I can find my way into the topic I was actually prepared to talk about, which is basically perfectionism and how we try to create those perfect lives for ourselves, and how this is really like creating so much friction and so much pressure and like inside of us, and it's actually taking us further away from the whatever we think our perfect life is, and is bringing us closer to a life that is like a constant chase. And then because we want to do it like perfectly, we end up doing nothing, or we end up dismissing the things that are already there, or that just work. And I guess that is maybe how I can relate to this intro that I just did. Yeah, that I could look for the perfect way to start a video. I could try figuring out in advance what I want to say. I could try to like, you know, follow all those guidelines. But it doesn't really matter, does it? Like, isn't it more true the way I started off? Because I just said what I was experiencing in that moment. And like I say, this is what I want this channel to be about, like to be honest, and to just simply live life and to fight my way through life into an existence that is as true and as honest as possible, and that is aligned with like my truest nature, my truest self. And that in so many cases is raw and it's messy and it's anything but perfect. At least not what we think perfect should be. What our ego and our minds are telling us what perfect actually is. So, yeah, what does it mean to live a perfect life? Or like, is there anything like a perfect life? I was trying to find it. I was looking for it my entire life. And I set out on this journey that I'm on right now. If you're new here, like right now I am in Italy. I've left my old life behind in Germany. I left my family, my friends behind in my hometown. Like the lease on my apartment was up and I just put all my stuff in storage and packed my bags. And here I am in Tuscany, sitting in this amazing garden and trying to figure out how this new life of mine can look and what it actually means to me to live that quote unquote perfect life, which really confronts me with the question, like, what is a perfect life? Like, what is it, what you're actually looking for? And the thing is, like so often we keep telling ourselves that if I only had that one thing, if I had that perfect relationship, if I had that perfect life, if I had that perfect house or the perfect job or whatever, we tell ourselves, then I'll be happy. And of course, those things can contribute to our happiness and they can make us feel good in many ways. And we can enjoy a beautiful environment so much more than a distracting and noisy and ugly environment. Yes, of course. But is that what makes us happy? What makes us feel like, yes, this is right? Not if our internal state of being isn't already there yet. And this is something that I'm experiencing big time at the moment. And I do realize that even though I am living this life right now, and I am in those beautiful places, I have beautiful people in my life, and they're all reflecting back to me how much I've grown, how much I have already managed to move into this life and in this existence that I was looking for. But there's still this part inside of me that keeps looking for more, that keeps looking for, well, but this is not perfect enough. Like, I want perfection. I want more. And there's also nothing wrong with wanting more, wanting what, like whatever life can offer us. But the thing is, it's also a way of keeping ourselves stuck, right? When, like I say, I am now in those beautiful places, I have those great relationships in my life, and I am like still creating this gap between me and this idea of what this perfect whatever I think I need, this perfect thing is supposed to look like. And it's holding me back from actually really experiencing and enjoying what is here, what is already here. And so I've been thinking about this a lot because there was a lot of like around that coming up for me over the last few days. And I uncovered this part of me that was always looking for perfection my entire life and always tried to be perfect herself. Hello, So, as you can see, the sound got cut off. And yeah, my microphone lost power, and I didn't realize it until the ending of the recording, which was 20 minutes later. So yeah, I went back, I recharged my mic, recharged myself by getting some food into my system, and yeah, decided to come back and resume the whole thing here. I gave the first part of the video a quick listen, just to like roughly know where I was at, although I already like don't really remember what I said. Well, yeah, I do remember what I said, but I'm not even trying to recreate what I said in the rest of the message. What I actually want to point out, and that is really like picking up where the recording got like cut off, is that I was starting to talk about my inner perfectionist, and I was like making the joke and saying like, yeah, hello Virgo sun, because that's who I am, a Virgo sun. And we're known for our perfectionism, for having like those really, really high standards towards ourselves, towards our creations, towards other people. And it's very interesting that the recording got cut off right the moment that I started talking about this part of myself. And what I said, or like I said, I've been working through a lot of stuff that came up around this part of mine. And it's really like, it's literally trying to prevent me from talking about this, to show this part of me to the world. Because like I've been like, for the most part of my life, I've been trying so hard to be perfect, but at the same time to not make it look like I'm trying to be. So actually sitting in front of a camera and like announcing to the world that, yeah, there is this part inside of me that is trying to be perfect, but it's actually not. yeah, it's like, what the hell are you doing? Stop talking. I'll just stop you right there. And it was 3:33 when I looked at the timer. Yeah. So our egos always are trying to prevent us from actually doing the things that would help us grow, would help us get to where truth lies. Because, and this is not happening in a malicious way, it's trying to protect us. Our egos, they're just trying to protect us. So this part of me that is like grew up with the idea of, well, I have to be perfect because only then I'm worthy enough. It was just trying, like, for our entire life, this part of me thought that that is the way to get love and to really get the things that I was hoping for and wanting and wishing for. It was the only way we knew how to do things. And I am in this pivotal moment in my life where I'm choosing a different way of living. I'm choosing a different life. And what's coming with that is that I'm actually also choosing to drop the idea of perfection in like the idea of perfection that we have as like how the ego thinks about perfection, because like there are those spiritual concepts about like, well, it's a perfect universe, so actually every moment is perfect. Even if we think it's imperfect, it is actually perfect, and there's so much wisdom in there. And if you can think about it in this way, then yes, I am striving for the perfect life. But the perfect life can then, as a result, actually look very, very imperfect to the ego. Because what the ego actually wants or thinks perfect means is without flaws, without fault, pure. And you know, that's a funny thing, because I was also talking about like me being a Virgo sun, and that the sign of Virgo is often connected to those like superficial ideas of, well, perfectionistic, very like likes order and cleanliness, and in many ways like very like overly so. For me, I never really found this to be true. Ask my mom. She would tell you about the chaos that was present in my room. And even as an adult, like I'm not like I sometimes struggle to keep like a basic order in my life in general. So yeah, not really identifying with that part of the Virgo traits, but what's actually lying beneath that is a deeper sense of striving for purity. And yes, that can look like I am trying to keep my surroundings pure by just being overly clean. But it can show up in so many other ways. And in my case, it was like to be clean as a person, like to be the good child, the good daughter, the good sister, the good girlfriend, the good colleague, and to be flawless in everything I did. And so I was also striving in that like pursuit for myself to be that. I was also striving for the flawless life. And what I've been learning from my own like spiritual awakening, especially, and from just like living, like trying to live a life that feels true to me. I was experiencing that I kept hitting a glass ceiling. And I'm only starting to realize or understand now that this glass ceiling was actually my own striving for perfection, because I was trying to create this flawless, pure, spotless life where everything is just perfect. And when I'm experiencing something that is actually good, I'm holding myself back from just enjoying it and just living it and being with it to the fullest extent, because I'm automatically looking for something that could be better, that could be more perfect. This is not perfect yet. This is not it yet. So this keeps me in this constant searching and this constant striving for more and for something better. And this is how the ego works. It is always trying to keep us in those endless cycles of searching, or the other extreme would be in stagnancy, or both. Like I had both. Through the constant striving, like on the bigger level, I kept myself stuck in so many ways, and I kept myself stagnant in so many ways. Also because I was telling myself that because the things that I wanted were not, or that I had were not good enough. No, yeah, like that kept me like on chasing the better things. But there was also like this other side to it, that I was having, like I was building those castles in the sky in my mind, and then the fear kicked in that I was actually not able to reach it, to attain it. And as a result of that, I just didn't do anything. I just kept myself stuck. I just kept myself stagnant, because before I try and fail, I'd rather not. And I just can't keep dreaming. And there was this fear of like experiencing the things that I thought I wanted, and then realizing that they are actually not what I thought I wanted. Like they're not as perfect as I thought about them. And to keep myself from the disappointment, I just stayed where I was. So I changed my perspective on that. And now I'm not looking for the perfect life anymore, the perfect place, the perfect partner, the perfect friends, the perfect whatever, the perfect me. But I'm looking for fulfillment. I'm looking for something that gives me like satisfaction, that fills me up. And that doesn't have to be spotless. It doesn't have to be pure. Um, and the funny thing is that I find so much beauty in the things in this world that are not perfect. I find them more beautiful because they're like interesting to me. They have character. They have with like all the edges and the little imperfections that make something unique. This is what I value. I highly value it in other people, in other people's creations, in nature. Because I can see the uniqueness. But yeah, while valuing it in other people or other creations or all the things I just said, I didn't allow that like for myself. And this is what I'm really like, I'm starting to change. And with all those revelations that I had about this and about like this inner part of me that just tries to be Miss Perfect, living the perfect life, fulfilling expectations that she and others place on her. But it's a cold life. It's not alive. And yeah, I'm really coming more and more into this deep, deep, deep knowing and contentment that what I want is not a flawless life, but a real one, a raw one that is like alive, that is full of different experiences and feelings and people and with everything, like the good and the bad. And the more I come into that, the more I am experiencing actually like moments that are, when you look at them, or like even when you're within them, in the midst of them, experiencing them, it's pure chaos. It's like sometimes I find myself in situations where I'm thinking, what is going on and how the hell am I going to like come out of this again? And then I surrender and I just say like, okay, please universe, just take over because I have no idea what's going on. And then I can literally see and observe how things are starting to rearrange themselves. And it's chaos, it's pure chaos, but that's creation energy. And what comes out in the end is, in the most cases, completely insane. It's madness, really, it's pure madness. But if you're willing to go along for the ride, in the end, you realize and you come out the other side and everything worked out and you're like, holy shit, I have no idea how this actually worked. And it's looking at it from a like logical perspective, this wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. It did. And it was born out of the chaos. It was born out of the imperfection. And that, like, the fact that it came out of this imperfect state of messiness, and it worked out in the end, and there was like this touch of magic in it. The fact that that worked makes it even more perfect. And that's the insane genius of the universe. And that is what makes the universe so incredibly perfect. And it, like, the more I allow the space for that, the more of those experiences I have. And the more I'm just looking at life in general with awe, and I'm becoming this curious child that just wants to experience more of that. And I'm like, okay, I have to slaughter my ego for that in order to experience more of this fun stuff, of this craziness. yeah, well, it's painful, but I'm willing to do it. And this is what a fulfilling life looks to me like. So, yeah, I'm really not striving for perfection anymore. No. I'm striving for this liveliness and this unfolding of a perfect universe that you cannot control, but you can just like hop on and go along for the ride. And I love like all the craziness, and I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. So yeah, that's my 5 cents to like the topic of perfectionism. And I think this video is just a perfect example for that. And to be honest, I think like the second part of it, like, or the second version of this video, I love it even more. And that is, again, like that's the thing, you know. My inner perfectionist tried to sabotage it by creating like this reality of where it cut my voice off, literally cut my voice off. But nothing could hold me back, because like I have set my mind to this and I'm choosing to live this reality. And I just came back and started over. And then in the end, I like this version even more, this message that came out now. And it's, so in the end, it became even more perfect by being so imperfect. Yeah. And with that, mic drop. I would love to hear from you, your thoughts about this. And if you're new here and you enjoyed this, I would love for you to subscribe as well. Helps me and the channel, of course. But for the most part, I just want to connect with all of you, and I just want to create this space here and the community. And yeah, that I would just love it. I'm always getting so awkward when I have to say those things. Like, maybe I don't have to say them, I don't know. But has anyone ever subscribed the channel because the content creator told them so? I think I once read a comment where someone said, I subscribe to your channel, but just so you know, not because you told me so. All right, that was a little tangent in the end here. So yeah, anyways, I would love for you to subscribe. I would love to hear from you or give me a thumbs up. And I would also love to connect with you in the next message, next video. And until then, I wish you a great time. Live this fulfilling life, and see you then. Take care. Bye.